I listened to Gavin Newsom speak about that, and I have several thoughts about what he had to say. First off, I don't care how he feels. I barely care how I feel. We are a country of laws, and laws are not suggestions. They're not guidelines. They're not optional. These are laws. And they were passed by Congress. And the people in Congress were elected by those people in Los Angeles. Of most of the people that have crossed the border, even illegally, that there are some good people there, some family people there. The Hispanic population is by and large, their culture is very family oriented. So no one is questioning the humanity of those people, even if they cross the border, but that doesn't make them immune from the law.
That's Dr. Phil. And oh boy, he's not the man you remember. I've had my eye on him lately. Not for therapy, but for his explosive political pivots that have the internet shaking. Once hailed as Oprah's golden boy, the dude your mom swore by, now he's stomping into MAGA territory with fire in his eyes and zero apologies. And let me tell you, growing up, all the intellectuals around me used to drag him through the mud, mockingly dubbing him Dr. Filthy. Fast forward to today, those same critics are suddenly clutching their pearls in admiration. What changed? He did. He stopped playing nice. He started speaking raw truth. And guess what? That swagger, that boldness, it's earned him a whole new wave of respect. This isn't just a rebrand, it's a redemption arc in real time. And speeches like the one he just gave, that's the kind of mic drop moment that's turning skeptics into believers.
About this, it's not a matter of opinion. We are a country of laws, and laws are not suggestions. They're not guidelines. They're not optional. They're not Monday, Wednesday, Friday, one week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, the next week. These are laws, and they were passed by Congress. And the people in Congress were elected by those people in Los Angeles. They have representatives in Congress that pass these laws. And once those laws are passed, are they not to be enforced universally across the board? They're not. They're not optional. And the people they're attacking had nothing to do with it. These ICE agents, do you think anybody asked a single ICE agent, what's your opinion of the law? They're hurling rocks at the heads of these ICE agents, and so they're going after them. They had nothing to do with this.
But again, Phil, what I would say to that, just to jump in.
Let's get real. The game is rigged and we all know it. There's one set of rules for everyday Americans and a completely different playbook for the radical left. They crash events, they exploit chaos, and somehow they skate away untouched. No raids, no charges, no Fed busting down their doors at 5 a.m. But then comes Dr. Phil, calm, cool, and dangerously honest. He steps up and says what millions are thinking. These laws aren't optional, they're not suggestions, they're non-negotiable. And finally, someone with a platform is saying it loud enough to echo. That's the moment the room gets quiet, because the truth just hit like a freight train. People are tired of selective justice. They're tired of being told to play fair while others burn the rule book. And Dr. Phil, he's not playing therapist anymore. He's calling out the double standard with surgical precision. This isn't politics, this is accountability warfare.
Ben, what I would say to that is, I've watched those scenes and they're utterly horrific. And the people doing that, they're trying to kill people, right? So I would absolutely charge them with attempted murder. You throw a rock at a passing car and smash the windows, you're trying to kill that person, in my estimation. I don't think anyone's got any problem with people doing that. If they're there illegally, then throw them out of the country. But what about the people who are not criminals, whose only crime, and it is a crime because if you enter the country illegally, you have entered the country illegally. You've broken the law. But do you think it's enough if that is your only crime, i.e. you're there illegally to start with, if you built a life, you have a family and so on, is that enough to be seized off the streets by ICE and deported, in your opinion?
We are not debating humanity here. We're talking about the law. Cold, hard, non-negotiable law. And guess what? Even the legendary Thomas Sowell, a man whose words slice through nonsense like a hot knife through butter, said it best. Yes, many who cross the border illegally are good, family-oriented people. No one's denying that. But being a good person doesn't give you a legal pass to break into a country. Let that sink in. You're not immune from consequences just because you smiled at the border patrol or love your abuela. And then there's Tom Homan, a man who actually enforced the law, spelling it out like we're in kindergarten. If you're here illegally, you can use an app, yes, an app, to self-deport. The US government will give you time to pack, buy you a ticket, and when you land, boom, you even get a $1,000 check to help get your life together back home. But if you stay and get caught, buckle up, because the consequences get nasty. Prison time, deportation, a possible lifetime ban from re-entry. So no, this isn't cruelty. This is clarity. You don't get to break the law and then cry foul when it catches up with you. And if that offends you, maybe you're not mad at the message. Maybe you're just mad the truth finally showed up.
In my opinion, that's the law. And listen, Thomas Sowell was speaking, someone that I admire greatly, was speaking about this just a few days ago. I listened to him talk about this, and he said it very well. He said, nobody questions the humanity of most of the people that have crossed the border, even illegally, that there are some good people there, some family people there. The Hispanic population is, by and large, their culture is very family oriented. So no one is questioning the humanity of those people, even if they cross the border, but that doesn't make them immune from the law. If you are here illegally, Tom Homan has said it very clearly. There's an app that you can go to that says, look, self-deport, take yourself out of the country if you're here illegally. If you register there, they give you time to get your affairs in order here. They give you a plane ticket to fly you back to where you came from. But if you stay here and you are arrested, they have to find you, arrest you, process you, and send you out. You face bars. It can be 5 years, it can be 20 years, it can be forever. So the whole reason of being so transparent about this process is to let people know if you're here illegally, you need to take measures to remove yourself so you can then file for a visa and come back in here legally.
Wait, we're paying people who break our laws now? Yeah, you heard that right. $1,000 for crossing into our country illegally. That's not just outrageous, that's insanity on steroids. I saw the headline and thought it was a joke. But nope, there it was, clear as day. Trump signed off on it, and my jaw hit the floor. We're literally handing out checks to lawbreakers while American families are scraping to survive. And just when you think it can't get any more backwards, here come the radical leftists, not satisfied, still protesting, still setting the streets on fire like they're the ones being wronged. Make it make sense. The system is upside down, and policies like this, they aren't just bad, they're delusional.
I'm sorry, if you don't like that law, then change it. These people shouldn't be protesting on the highways in South LA. They should be going to the Capitol in DC and protesting to the legislature to change the immigration laws.
But there are estimates that the number of illegal immigrants in the United States, a country, of course, founded on immigration, that there could be as many as 30, 50, maybe 80 million people in the country illegally. No one's really quite sure, but it's tens of millions, whichever figure you want to buy into. Would you be happy, Phil, given that a lot of those people have settled in the United States for many years, had kids maybe in the United States, got a job, paid taxes, contributed to society, maybe doing a lot of menial work that is very important to keeping America running? Would you be happy if literally all of them were deported as a matter of principle?
I think we would be in a serious crisis if everyone left this country. And I think we need to address that. I think we need to address that in the legislature. I mean, clearly, this is a country of immigrants, some legal, some illegal.
America is a nation of immigrants, they scream. But hold up, let's pump the brakes on that fairy tale. Yeah, sure, we've got roots tracing back to Britain. But let's not pretend this country was built by philosophers from the plains of Haiti or intellectual sages trekking in from collapsing third world regimes. That's not the origin story. That's a Netflix rewrite. This wasn't some migration of ancient South African visionaries bringing high culture and democracy. It wasn't a wave of oppressed geniuses fleeing burning cartel cities. It was war, revolution, independence, and it wasn't declared from the back of a truck crossing a border under cover of night. We need to stop sugarcoating immigration like every newcomer is some torchbearer of brilliance. That's not what happened in 1776, and it's not what's happening now. This wasn't a broken, crumbling wasteland begging to be saved. It was an uprising, a vision, a challenge to empires. So let's cut the pandering, ditch the revisionist history, and get real about where this country came from and who it was built by.
Dysfunctional immigration laws, then we need to call an immediate session of Congress, address this, and find a way to get visas for these people, work visas, whatever kind of visas, or get the immigration courts unstopped. They're stopped up right now. Get that blockage out of the way so you can actually process people. But the reason they're stopped up for 7, 8, 9 more years is because all the people that have filed for asylum when they didn't have a good case for asylum. And when they get there and it's denied in the vast majority of cases, then they're given an order to leave and they don't. So they overstay. But they clog the courts up so people that have legitimate reasons don't ever get a chance to have their day in court. I don't think our immigration laws are functional.
But riddle me this, Piers. Did they come here legally or illegally? No dodging, no spin, no emotional backflips. Just answer the question. Did they break the law to enter the country? Yes or no? Because if the answer is yes, and let's be honest, it usually is, then we've got a real problem. But here's the part that absolutely blows my mind. We're being told that this one singular law-breaking act, this literal violation of national sovereignty, somehow doesn't count. Why? Because they're not perpetual criminals, right? Because they're just trying to make a better life for their family. Give me a break. Oh, so now intent suddenly rewrites illegality? So if I rob a bank but smile while doing it, maybe donate a portion to charity, I guess I get a free pass too, huh? Miss me with that nonsense. Breaking into a sovereign nation is not a whoopsie. It's not an accident, a misstep, or a misunderstood GPS route. It is a felony. It is intentional. It is a deliberate act of crossing a line, literally and legally. You don't get to cherry pick which laws apply just because you come from tough circumstances. There are millions of people around the world who are suffering, oppressed, and desperate. But guess what? They follow the process. They respect the system. They do it the right way. Now the media, the media, they want to airbrush this whole mess. They want to turn illegal border crossers into saints. Salt of the earth, they say. Family people, they cry, just trying to do better. Look, I'm not denying the humanity of anyone, but having a heart doesn't mean checking your brain at the door. Laws are laws for a reason, and if we keep making excuses for people who violate them, then what's the point of having a border at all? And now we've got activist judges, sanctuary cities, and clueless politicians bending over backwards to justify illegal entry. Meanwhile, legal immigrants who waited years, followed every step, are being shoved to the back of the line. How is that fair? I call BS. Massive, steaming BS. So, what do you think? Am I out of line, or am I just saying what you're already screaming at your screen? Drop your thoughts in the comments, don't hold back, because I'm fired up. And trust me, this debate is just getting started. Next episode, it's going to be a war zone of ideas, and I'm showing up ready to drop truth bombs. Until then, buckle up. It's only getting hotter from here.